Okay, so I'm going to do a few more tweaks to the bass and drums and stuff just to tidy them up. I like to just keep iterating them when I'm sort of listening back through the big speakers. And then we'll get on to making probably one of the most common sounds in this style of music, which is sort of the 303 acid sound. So I'm going to go in first and just tweak my drums a bit. Just want to take out some of the sort of lower mids in that bass. Just sort of tidy up my signal chain a bit. It's sort of coming quite hot out of the simplers. That sounded a wee bit better. Yep, sounding cool now. And so we're going to add our sort of faster acid. And again, we'll use our Sylenth. And this applies to almost any subtractive synth. Again, for acid sounds, it's definitely better to use the 12 dB filter. Hold on, I'll just initialize this preset. So we'll switch it on our 12 dB filter. And this just gives a nicer resonance. The original TB303 made by Roland had an 18 dB filter, which is sort of somewhere in the middle, so it had a nice resonance, but it sort of had a deeper filter as well. So we're starting off, you're doing pretty much something similar to the other acid sound, and you will fine tune it a bit more. Again, we want to add a cutoff AB to our mod envelope. And again, we're going to add a bit of distortion. We can also play about with a filter before the distortion, and this will just cut out any of the sort of bottom end. You can hear that we got a quite nice aggressive sort of sound now. And then one of the other things we want to put on is mono legato, and then put our portamento up. And we get that nice slide. So we don't want too much. And we'll play our track back and sort of find some patterns. What we can actually do is just copy the bass over. And we can play with take out those notes there and play with the octave. And we can use a pitch to do that. It's probably quicker than moving the notes if we want to move it about. What we can do is use this sort of cutoff envelope to control our filter, and it gives us a nice sort of aggressive filter up the top end, and sort of a softer sort of acid sound down the bottom. One of the other cool things we can do with acid is we can assign modulation from our velocity to our cutoff. And then if we go in, we can actually create sort of rhythms and stuff with our velocities. And then what we can do is move some of the notes up and we'll get that sort of glide factor. So let's expand this. Maybe add a bit more slide in one of the points. Maybe slide up to the next note, see if this works. We'd even do sort of a double slide, so we can go up to even a higher note up here. So that sounded pretty cool there. And then we can sort of adjust the filter as well. And then we'll add a bit of reverb and delay as well. So we'll create a delay track, or delay return. I'm just putting it on the thirds and then adding a slight offset. And what this does is sort of spread the delays out in the stereo field a bit. So play about with this single acid as well. Just want to slow it down a bit, I think. We can make that as gritty as we want. And then we can also use these controls to tighten it up as well. And the other thing you can do is to find a groove in the middle of the sort of riffs. You know, we sort of put all that in randomly, but there's a sort of nice groove in there somewhere. I think it starts nice there. So by just moving the start locator, you can sort of have the loop starting at different locations, and it gives you a different vibe. And I tend to sort of like listen to it on its own, and it'll automatically, in my head, sort of start to find its own groove, and I'll sort of know where I want the start to start from. So there's a couple of sort of basic acids. In the next video, we'll start looking at some of the other sounds.